Hello everybody. In this short video, I'm going to demonstrate how to download and install the MySQL Workbench and just a few things on how to navigate to work with databases. So let's first visit the mysql.com website, click on the downloads, and then scroll down to find the MySQL community downloads. When we click on that, we are on the available downloads for the MySQL community. That's the open source version of the MySQL server. We click on the MySQL Workbench. That's the IDE that the MySQL offers, and it's pretty nice and decent for the at least for the training. And of course, you can use it in a professional way to administer and develop SQL code. Initially, you click on the operating system. Let's click on the Microsoft Windows, and you have the ability to click from some earlier version. Let's get back. You click on the installer file, download, just continue as a guest user here. Wait for a couple of seconds. Open the installer file to initiate the process. It's pretty simple, straightforward. There's no need to do anything. You click either in a complete or a custom installation. Yeah, we click on the complete, then we install the application and wait for a couple of seconds to continue to the next phase. You can, of course, download another ID, another tool from some other third-party vendor. But usually, at the first steps in the as you learn how to program in SQL, it might be a good idea to follow the MySQL Workbench because it fits very well to the MySQL server and, of course, to the module that we are dealing with. At the end of the installation, you click on the launch, you click on the finish, and let's wait for the MySQL Workbench to show up. One thing is that this is the application. One thing that we need to keep in mind is whether our server is up and running. In order to check whether our server is up and running, we need to be aware of the process in the Windows. So either we check on the Windows processes in the task manager of the Windows, whether the MySQL daemon is up and running. So in our case, yes, it is up and running. If it is not, we can always stop and start it. So we can stop the process, the Windows process, by opening a command line window. So let's do that. We can stop that by using the net stop command, and we can restart it by typing the net start MySQL 83. The MySQL 83 has been defined when we installed the MySQL server. So now we're completely sure that the server is up and running. Only when it is running, we can connect using MySQL Workbench. So here we can see some connections. In my case, I have a couple. So I click on the MySQL 83. It requests for the root password. I type that. I press the OK. Yes, I can continue anyway. So here, as you can see, this is the environment that we have in our hands. What we have here is a panel where we can navigate and check our databases, the schemas, as you can see. You can click the refresh button if you have made any change and you want to show this change here. We have generated a Sakila database, as you can see. We have a lot of tables, and every table has a lot of columns. So you can navigate through the database. So in this case, we have the customer table. You see that we have some icons here. The second is, if we click on that, lets us manipulate, handle the table. The third one is a query where we execute a select query in the table. So here it is as if we ask for the entire data set of our table, select the star from Sakila customer. So we have the option to check the objects of our database to the left, and here to the panel to execute SQL statements. So like that. So we could select, for example, select first name, underscore name from the Sakila customer. How do we execute it? By pressing either one of those arrows, or we can execute it from the top. So we have a set of menus here at the top where we can access database objects. We can execute queries either in total or partially. We can check the server status like that. So if we want to administer the server, we have the ability to do that here. So we can both administer the server, execute scripts. We also have some utilities, some configuration, and as you proceed to the program, you'll find yourself to become more familiar with all those techniques and terms. We can configure the program here. We can configure the editor style, colors, anything that we could possibly want to modify, diagrams, appearance, colors, anything else. So that's a bit of an environment that we call integrated development environment, where we can both write software, we can administer the server, we can check the objects and all the rest. So as you practice and you become more familiar, then you can move on to a little bit more advanced tools or tools from third parties that you might find more interesting. So I hope you find it interesting. Please practice the more you can. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening.